Melania Trump. Oh my goodness. What's this? Let's see. Why did I have this clip up? What could this be? This isn't related to what we're talking about.
Hooyah, Navy! Hooyah, Navy! Hooyah, Navy!
More like Hooyah Epstein. Boom, boom. Shh. So I just want to give you an update because this has been irritating me and no one talked about it, which is the part that everyone did talk about was Melania was going around sending threatening legal letters, having her lawyers do this, to anyone who would report on Michael Wolff, saying that Epstein used to claim that maybe Melania and Donald were introduced by Epstein, or maybe the first time they made love, which I still struggle to believe despite them having a kid that's even ever happened. But if it did, the first time was on the Lolita Express, that was called, the Epstein plane. Those were just claims from Michael Wolff about claims from Epstein. Okay, but it's notable to report on such a claim given how much time Michael Wolff spent with Epstein. A little too much time, no. And so Daily Beast got a threatening letter. You had Carville getting one, and then Hunter Biden. And Hunter Biden just talked about that same story. That, I don't know, the rumor had it that might have even been how Melania and Donald were introduced, which I always found to be kind of an irrelevant claim because we already know how tight they were. So when Melania was like, don't you dare say that. That would seem to insinuate that we were really close with him. And then play the montage. Obviously you were. So that doesn't break any big news, but she does not. She wouldn't come out for a second to defend Donald amid all of the cover-up allegations. No, not a peep. But she did come out to defend herself against that story. And when Hunter Biden told it, she threatened a $1 billion lawsuit. And in response, Hunter Biden said, F that. F that. He didn't just not take the video down. He didn't just not revoke the claim. He didn't just not apologize. He said, F that. I stand by it. And she said, we'll sue you if you don't revoke. And he didn't. And she didn't sue. How is that not a bigger story? We're now months after that. As I'm spitting. And she still hasn't sued. Huh. Interesting. I wonder why. I wonder why she hasn't sued. Could it be because she doesn't want to go through discovery? Doesn't want Hunter Biden's lawyers to get to pry through information on this subject? Very interesting. I'm just asking questions. So I just wanted to note that. That's wild. And then on Epstein, Mike Johnson continues to get questions. Hey, why have you still not sworn in Adelita Grijalva, who won in a special election, who should be sworn in and would be the 218th vote on the discharge petition to release the files, but you strangely won't. It's not because of the shutdown, because you could do it in the pro forma session. It's not because of scheduling complexities. You're just choosing not to. And every time he gives the same kind of dumb boilerplate answer. While we watch, please do, if you appreciate the show, click the subscribe button. That is free. Get yourself some pep, family business, gut friendly, no artificial sweeteners, drinkpep.com. Get it delivered directly to your doorstep. So he just gives an eye roll on this one.
Speaker, good morning. Thank you. You said last week that you would swear in Adelita Grijalva whenever she wants. She's written a letter to your office. You've not sworn her in.
Yeah.
I understand about pro forma sessions.
Yes.
Doesn't your resistance to not swear her in add fuel to the fire that this is about the Epstein trial?
No. Let's talk about Grijalva and Epstein. Okay.
And then he goes through the same things that we've heard a million times, but no. Now, the question that was asked was a good one, which is, you said the reason you swore in Republicans in a pro forma session, which you could do now, was because, well, the Republicans, they thought they had already planned for it, and so they brought in their family. So then Grijalva said, all right, I'll bring in my family. Let's do it. And then he goes on this whole long thing. At the same press conference, you had Oh, now I'm blanking on the name. I'm sure I'll get it here in a second. But look at this energy shift.
But the way to end this shutdown is really, really simple. Pass the bipartisan clean funding bill that the House approved weeks ago.
It's really pretty simple. Pass the bill! Okay.
The Republicans voted to keep the government open. Call your Democratic senators. They're voting to keep it shut, not us.
They're voting to not fund a government, Lisa McClain, that's her name, that would allow for the spiking of insurance costs and rip away healthcare for millions of Americans and cover up the Epstein files, etc., etc., etc. But Lisa McClain was doing a little bit of an Elon Musk behind Mike Johnson while he was talking. Look at this. I'll play without audio. What could he possibly be saying that would garner this reaction? Watch. What kind of stand-up routine could Mike Johnson possibly be doing that would, wow. All right, now we'll watch it with audio. Let's see.
$1.5 trillion in your tax dollars to fund nonsense overseas. They want to give $200 billion to illegal aliens. We are not going to do that. We're not going to do it. The American people don't want us to do it. And they're using this for...
I don't know. That's fun. Government shut down. Party Central, I guess. This is what I was from. Yeah, that's it. There he is. There's our Elon. Wow.
I am become meme.
Yeah. And then, of course, this.
Grants like that. But I don't think Harvard.
We don't need the audio. Wait, I think the beginning part was the best. And round we go. It's just, I wish I could feel this way ever. I wish I could feel this light, this floaty, ever. Yes. Okay. So Lisa McClain was kind of doing that. And then at the press conference, you have Steve Scalise perpetuating this idea that on October 18th, the peaceful No Kings protest is a Hate America rally.
During a time where the contrast of Chuck Schumer throwing a temper tantrum here at home just to appease the most radical elements of his base, so that on the 18th, when they have the Hate America rally that everybody knows is coming, and that everybody knows Chuck Schumer needs to deliver a shutdown government to them to appease them. Well, how about you think about us? How about you think about those families?
That you're being so mean. Stop being so mean. Anyone who's going to protest at the No Kings rally, it's a message. Obviously, Trump's not a king, even if he became the authoritarian that he wants to be. That wouldn't be a king. We don't do. I don't even know if he'd want. Well, he probably would, but we don't have like the history of a royal family. But they'll get real pedantic in that way. You know what we're saying. If Obama did 1/10 of the stuff Trump is doing, y'all would have called it the greatest dictator of all time in American history. And Barack Hussein Obama and Barack Hussein. You do a whole thing. We know it. You called Obamacare authoritarian. You called his tan suits desecration of the White House. So it is perfectly reasonable for us to be opposed to the federal overreach and the authoritarianism of Trump, and then for a kind of succinct explanation of that, it's no kings, right? We don't want anything like that. That's what we left. That's what America's all about. You know that that's informed by our love for America. Now, you can disagree with our interpretation, but that is our love for America. But they're all saying this now, all the Republicans.
So you agree that that's what this is about, that they want to be there and sort of, punch their chest there, that they're fighting Trump?
Sorry. I didn't know she was... The phrase is not punch your chest. Right? Is it like pound your chest or punch? Hey, Trump, no kings.
Punch their chest there, that they're fighting Trump in this No Kings rally. That's what this is about.
Yeah, we call it the Hate America rally because you'll see the hate for America all over this thing when they show up. Yeah, I mean, that's the rumor, Maria, the rumor.
All right. Very, very disingenuous, to say the least.